Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. How can I not start the review off like that? But hello everyone, welcome back to Home Media Reviews, and as my little musical number at the beginning stated, we're covering the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Well, I guess I did the theme song to the television series. I guess I should have done I'm a Goofy Goober Rock! Somehow that was even worse than the television theme. You know what? We're just gonna roll with it. Let's move right into the history section of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. For transparency's sake, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I do have my Plankton plushie here with me to review this movie. He is in the closet with me. His one eye is staring at me with evil intent. So the SpongeBob SquarePants movie first hit theaters on November 14th, 2004. Now, while I was old enough to have possibly seen this movie in theaters, I did not see this movie in theaters. As a matter of fact, I did not get into SpongeBob until after this movie came out. As a matter of fact, I have this movie to thank for getting me into SpongeBob because this movie was my first exposure to the character. I believe it was 2005, 2006, when Blockbuster Video was still around. My family went to Blockbuster pretty frequently, and in Blockbuster, my mom pointed out to me the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. She, I guess, had heard of SpongeBob and thought that I would like it, so I said, hey, can I rent this? She said, yeah. So I rented it, watched it, and I absolutely fell in love with this movie from a very young age. I was a little bit disappointed to find out that the SpongeBob movie was the only movie. It was actually a TV series, and then I started renting episodes of the TV series and got into the TV series, and then my love of SpongeBob continued right up until, I don't know, middle school when I kind of got out of it. I never really jumped off the SpongeBob train, I just kind of stopped loving it as much as I did. Because when I was younger, I was absolutely obsessed with this show. I loved everything about SpongeBob. I would quote the episodes constantly, to the point where I would annoy my parents and to some extent my friends. I remember I had a friend of mine in elementary school. We would meet up at recess and we would go and act out episodes during recess, because we both just memorized them like off the top of our heads. Although I do remember having to correct that friend constantly because he would get lines wrong, and I was very upset because I knew what the correct line was, but he didn't. That's how obsessed I was with SpongeBob. But when I got into middle school, and to some extent high school, I kind of dropped off the train, I found other things. But SpongeBob has still been around in my life. I mean, I told you guys I have my Plankton plushie here with me, and I love the classic series of SpongeBob. Seasons 1 through 3, those are the best seasons. And I happen to own seasons 1 through 3, as well as half of season 4 and half of season 5 and half of season 6. That was just stupid, Nickelodeon. You put out 4, 5, and 6 in volumes? Like, come on, I hated that. But we're not talking about the show, we're talking about the movie. And the movie, on March 1st, hit VHS and DVD. There was both a full screen and a widescreen version of the DVD. You'll see in the close-up, I unfortunately own the full screen version of this. I think I picked that up at Target a couple months after I rented the movie from Blockbuster because I just loved it so much I wanted to own it. 6 years later, on March 29th, 2011, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie hit Blu-ray in a Blu-ray/DVD combo pack. There was a Blu-ray/DVD reprint on December 30th, 2014. This had different poster art than the OG Blu-ray, but this pair of reprints included the same poster art. It's probably the most recent Blu-ray that you can find of this. It's still on the shelves, I believe. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie was included in a Nickelodeon 6-movie collection on April 25th, 2017. This, of course, included the SpongeBob movie, the Rugrats movie, Hey Arnold the movie, the Wild Thornberrys movie, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and Barnyard. There was a lot of the movie in there, but that's kind of cool. It was only available on DVD, unfortunately. I think the only one that has a Blu-ray out of all of these is the SpongeBob movie. And then on February 6th, 2018, the SpongeBob movie was included in a 2-movie Blu-ray collection with its sequel, Sponge Out of Water. At the time of this recording, we are still in the midst of the global pandemic for the virus that I still cannot say because I will get demonetized instantaneously. So I, at this point in time, do not know how SpongeBob 3, Sponge on the Run, is going to get to us. I don't know if it's available for home viewing. I don't know if it's going to be put out in theaters. I hope it's put out in theaters because I'd like to go back to the movie theater. And I really want to see SpongeBob 3. Those trailers looked pretty daggone good. However, it's still cool that now we have a trilogy of SpongeBob films, even if the third one's not out yet. So with all that being said, let's move right along to the close-up of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Alrighty everyone, here's your close-up look at the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Tried to sound like the trailer there. Did it work? Probably not. We're starting off here with my childhood copy of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and of course I owned it on DVD as a kid, so let's begin. Full screen collection with Paramount DVD there in the middle. I don't think I bought this myself. I think I received this as a present or something, so whoever bought this for me, why didn't you buy me the widescreen one? I am very upset with you. You've got the SpongeBob SquarePants movie logo there. SpongeBob and Patrick with Neptune's crown running toward the screen with the monsters that appear in that giant trench toward the middle of the film. Interesting that they're featured on the poster. They're barely in the movie at all. The movie itself triumphs, is the quote down there at the bottom from some guy at the New York Times. I do like this poster though. It's very nice. I just really don't understand why those monsters are featured so prevalently. They're in the movie for maybe a minute. Side, you got that same Paramount logo. You got kind of like a photo of SpongeBob in his Goofy Goober hat. You can kind of see it there. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Nickelodeon Movies, product number, and DVD video logo. The back has your UPC code, another quote, your blurb that's separated by the SpongeBob face, special features. This thing is jam-packed with bonus features. I love all these bonus features on this disc. That's because this was put out around the time that studios actually gave a crap about physical media having special features. And look, there's Plankton running through the little banner there. Cast and crew information as well as tech specs down at the bottom. If there were any inserts included here, I lost them years ago. Here is your disc. It has artwork that makes it look like a life preserver, which I like a lot. So years after receiving that as a present or something, I needed to, of course, upgrade to Blu-ray because have you met me? Have you watched this show? I love Blu-ray. It's literally the greatest thing since, I don't know, sliced bread. So I tracked down a Blu-ray copy of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and unbeknownst to me, this is the original Blu-ray that was put out by Paramount back in like 2010 or so. I don't really remember. It was pretty early in the day for Blu-ray. But here it is. Got your Blu-ray disc logo, Blu-ray plus DVD up there at the top. So this is a combo pack. Same poster as included on the standard DVD. Down at the bottom it says Family Combo Pack. The side, Paramount logo, SpongeBob from the front, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, 2-disc set product number with the Blu-ray disc logo and DVD logos. On the back you've got your Blu-ray special features that are on the disc itself, as well as your DVD special features, UPC code, same blurb I assume. Plankton's still there, he's not running through a banner, but cool that he's still there, and the SpongeBob face is still there. Cast and crew information, tech specs, all that good stuff. Open this up. There's your Blu-ray. It really doesn't have any good artwork. I would have preferred if they had used this artwork, and wow, look at that. It's the same disc artwork that we saw on the full screen version, except this one I presume is widescreen. Yeah, it says widescreen right there. So yeah, I have a widescreen DVD version, but I will of course be watching the Blu-ray from here on out. So that concludes your close-up. Let's move on to the menu tour. Okay, folks, here we are for a menu tour of the SpongeBob movie. Got the widescreen DVD in the player right now. So our menu here is pretty well designed. We have our play option here on the side, setup, special features, and scene selection. What do we have for setup? It's a picture of Plankton screaming, "Plan Z! Here it is! Just like you said!" You got English 5.1 surround sound, English 2.0 surround, French and Spanish, and then subtitle options. All you have is English. So let's go back to the main menu. Special features. Is SpongeBob and Patrick about to be squished by Alec Baldwin's character? That's a big boot. Don't worry, this will only hurt a lot. I love this movie, if you can't tell. The absorbing tale behind the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which is a really good documentary about the making of the film. Case of the Sponge Bob, which I guess is another featurette. Animatics. And then going on to the other page here, we got Saving the Surf, DVD-ROM, which I guess you could access some exclusive stuff if you put this into a computer back in the day. And the teaser trailer as well. You can watch the previews here. Scene selection. Each scene has its own title, and it is set up at that bar that SpongeBob and Patrick go to towards the middle of the film. 14 scenes, which is more than enough for a 90-minute movie. Alright, here we are for the Blu-ray menu. Not as animated as the DVD one is. There's no moving images or anything. It's just the poster, but it is in HD, so it looks better. We've got play, settings, scenes, and extras. Settings for audio, we have 5.1, English Master Audio, French 5.1, Spanish 5.1, and Portuguese 5.1. For subtitles, we have more than English. We have 2 English options, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. For scenes, we have the same number of scenes. The names have been removed. They are now just numbers. That's a little bit sad. Oh, we also have the bookmarks feature. I still don't know how that works. For extras, the same documentary that was on the DVD, as well as Case of the Sponge Bob. Animatics was on the DVD, so was Saving the Surf. Inside the Pineapple was not. That's new for the Blu-ray. Making of the Flaming Lips, SpongeBob and Patrick confront the psychic wall of energy music video. That's interesting. Wasn't found on the DVD. Neither was the actual music video. So you get making of the music video and the music video itself. You also have the teaser trailer for the movie. So, I know I said in the close-up this was jam-packed with extras, and it technically is. You got that big documentary about the movie and all that, and there's more features on the Blu-ray than there is on the DVD. It's just a couple of featurettes more, though. You get a music video and the making of the music video, as well as that Inside the Pineapple thing. So obviously I recommend the Blu-ray more than the DVD, and I love that there's extras on these discs. It's great to have a feature-length documentary diving into the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Maybe not feature-length, but any kind of documentary about a SpongeBob movie, I'm there. So that is the menu tour. Let's move right along and answer the 5 main questions, as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? I've seen the 2014 Blu-ray on store shelves for years now. I've never seen the 2011 print out in the wild. I just got really crazy on eBay one night and picked up a copy for myself, and it turned out to be the original Blu-ray copy, which was cool. So the 2014 version, I think, is the most prominent one. You can still find it on store shelves for the most part. I'd also say, though, if you really want to find one, like if you're really looking for one, go online. You're more than likely going to find it there. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Most recent reprint was in 2018. I know 2014 copies are still lingering around out there. I can't really say yes to this, though. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Do you even really have to ask me that anymore? I mean, I'm going to recommend this. Of course I am. I love the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. This movie is just fun. It's a brisk, easy-to-watch movie based in the SpongeBob universe, and I happen to really enjoy it. The plot of the movie is absurd. I love how it's set up with Plankton, of course, is the villain here, and he has gone through all of his evil plans to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula from A to Y. A to Y? Yes, A to Y. It's the alphabet. That's how it works. What about Z? Z? Z, the letter after Y. So yes, he finds out that he actually drafted a Plan Z, but never actually used it. He got to Y, now he's at Z, and it turns out Z's pretty foolproof. It's evil. It's diabolical. It's lemon scented. I love Plankton in this movie. He's probably my favorite character in this movie. He's hilarious. He's a great villain for this film. I think this film is also unique because Plankton wins. Like, it's one of those movies where the villain wins halfway through it. I mean, sure, he's stopped at the end, but it's one of those rare movies where the villain actually wins, and not a lot of people talk about the SpongeBob movie in that aspect. I like movies where the villain wins sometimes, and this is one of those films that I'll bring up whenever someone asks me, hey, what's a movie where the villain wins? The SpongeBob movie. Duh. And that scene in the Chum Bucket when Squidward goes to confront Plankton about stealing the formula, and Plankton turns on those mind control helmets and they all surround Squidward like zombies, and that shot of Squidward screaming, that was legitimately terrifying as a child. It's still kind of creepy to this day. I mean, that's a really well orchestrated scene and camera shot, and it still sends chills down my spine to this very day whenever I watch it. Because it's kind of terrifying. I mean, like, all these people around you with these antennas in their helmets, and you can't see their faces, and they're just monotonely saying, all hail Plankton. I mean, that's kind of creepy. Main character, though, of this movie is not Plankton, unfortunately. It's SpongeBob, and it's SpongeBob. I mean, he's characterized really well here. He has a plot about him not getting the managerial position at the Krusty Krab, or the Krusty Krab 2, I guess. Is he trying out for manager of the Krusty Krab or the Krusty Krab 2? I don't remember if that's ever really addressed in this movie, because there's two Krusty Krabs now. I love the reason for the Krusty Krab 2. What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab with everything from the original? Money. Hello, I like money. So when SpongeBob doesn't get the managerial position because Mr. Krabs doesn't see him as an adult, you're just a kid. And to be a manager, you have to be a man. Otherwise, they'd call it kidager. Do you understand, Ager? I mean, do you understand? So then SpongeBob goes out to a bar with Patrick and gets drunk. Not even kidding. That happens in this movie. So absurd. And when you boil this movie down, it's a road trip movie with SpongeBob and Patrick. They go on a road trip together. It's one of the best road trip movies I've seen. They drive the paddy wagon, which as a kid I always wanted to drive. I wanted that thing to be real so freaking bad. I never explained what Plankton's plot was. Plankton steals King Neptune's crown and sells it to a guy in Shell City, then frames Mr. Krabs for it. SpongeBob and Patrick have to get the crown back from Shell City. That's why they take the paddy wagon. That's why this is a road trip movie. And this movie is absurd, but it's fun absurd. There's great snappy lines of dialogue, and the animation looks absolutely beautiful in 1080p. I didn't realize how good this movie looks. What with this movie being what, 16, 17 years old? It came out in 2004, so it's not exactly a young one, considering a lot of the other animated movies we get nowadays, but it looks so good. It holds up so well. And David frickin' Hasselhoff is in this movie. It's what everyone remembers him for. Not Baywatch, not Knight Rider. Everyone knows him from the SpongeBob movie. Who are you? I'm David Hasselhoff. Hooray! So where's your boat? A boat? I don't have any flaws with the SpongeBob movie. This is a brisk watch. It's only a little under 90 minutes, I think. It might actually be right at 90 minutes, but it's really, it's a 3 minutes under 90, but it's so brisk and so fun every time I watch this movie. And it has a good moral, too. It shows that to get stuff done, you don't always have to be an adult. You can be a kid, too, sometimes, and I highly relate to that myself. There are times when you should be a man, but there are also times when you need to let loose and be a kid. So I highly recommend the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. If you have not checked this out, please do so. If you're a SpongeBob fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a SpongeBob fan, you might still enjoy it, actually. This is a movie for both non-SpongeBob fans and hardcore SpongeBob fans. This movie got me into SpongeBob itself, so yeah, definitely check this out if you haven't. Can I just also say that the comedy with King Neptune and his bald head is still funny to this very day. It's not bald, it's thinning. This crown might be used to cover up a slightly receding hairline. Jeffrey Tambor as King Neptune. Man, what great casting. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Well, I say go to eBay and pick yourself up the original copy if it has the slipcover. I did not know that the original Blu-ray had a slipcover. Picked up mine, doesn't have one. That's upsetting. But if you're looking for a Blu-ray copy, yeah, look online. And number 5, what price should you pay? This movie's not worth a lot, in all honesty. For either of the Blu-rays, 5 to 10. If you get the 2-movie collection, I'd say right at $10. That's a good price for that. The sequel to this movie is also not bad either. I kind of enjoy that one. It's not better than this movie, obviously, but it's a good follow-up. And as I said earlier, I'm excited for SpongeBob 3 whenever I get the chance to watch it. So that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up the HMR for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I did not realize how much I liked this movie until I went back to watch it for this show. I think I love this movie again. Thank you, HMR, for reminding me how much I love SpongeBob. So, folks, we have reached that critical moment in the HMR season. This was episode 12 of season 2. Next week is the season finale. It's on a movie that I have yet to watch. I picked a movie that I picked up from FYE a couple of months ago. Actually, it was longer than a couple months ago, probably 8 or 9 months ago. It's been sitting around on my shelf for a while. I've heard it's good. Next week, I am going to be covering The Fighter from 2010, starring Christian Bale and Mark Wahlberg. Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. You should come back next week and watch the season finale of HMR because it's gonna be on one of my movies, huh? I know, random pick, but I like the season finales to be different, you know? It gives me a chance to watch a movie I've never seen and potentially give you a chance to watch a movie that you've never seen. I've never seen The Fighter, and I've heard it's really good, so I'm excited to cover that. Thank you guys so much for watching this HMR. I'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.